Hello coloring friends, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I will be sharing with you my completed pages for the month of December 2024. And so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so this first page here is a PDF download from Christine Karen's Etsy store. And this specific page is labeled Frost. And I use, let's see, I wrote it down on the back here. Okay, yeah, I used Copics alcohol markers to base her skin. And then I used my Ohuhu alcohol marker to base her hair. Then I used Prismacolors for all of the shading and coloring of her skin, and my Polychromos for her hair. I used Gelatos for the background. And I don't know if you can see the glitter, this frost frame here, but I used Stickles in Frosted Lace. And it's a Stickles that I don't get around to using very much. It has just a really soft glitter look to it. I didn't want it to overpower the page. Kind of wanted to keep that soft feel for the background and have her pop from the page. And I think I achieved that pretty well. I was very proud of this page. And this was a buddy color with the lovely Natalia over on Instagram. You can see her pages on Colors of Nat Art. I'll put the link there, and here is her page. And I absolutely love how she does such glowing, beautiful skin on her pages, and she just really brings her pages to life. It's just a genuine pleasure doing buddy colors with her. So thank you, Natalia, for another wonderful buddy color. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into seasons here. I finished 3 pages. Well, actually, it was 2 single pages and 1 double page spread out of season. So I'm staying on with my goals for finishing this book. The first page is this one here. I can get to it. All right. So this page here, which I think I titled Yuletide Birds, and I used my Kuretake watercolors for the background for this page. Prismacolor pencils, as usual. I did I think it was Tuliart. I think it was a Tuliart paint pen for some of these accents around the flame and in the candle and the birds. White Posca, and also my beloved white Faber-Castell Pitt brush pen, which I really love for creating those soft accents. So this page was really fun. I just had a blast doing this page. I do see that I used my gold Sparkle Pop gel pen and my gold Winsor & Newton ink for the splatters in the background. I don't know if the camera is picking any of that up, but yeah, I love how this page turned out. Okay, the next page is that double page I was talking about here. And this is where I used my oil pastels for the background. You may have seen my review for Paul Rubens oil pastels, and I used those on the background for this page here. And I'm really loving doing backgrounds with oil pastels. Just because it's a waterless medium, I don't have to worry about the seepage into the binding or on the edges of the opposite paper. This particular page, I was trying to cover up some of that I had gotten from when I did this page here last winter. It kind of went over onto this page and then seeped into the binding. So I was trying to think of ways that I could cover that up, and the oil pastels did a fabulous job. So for the rest of the page, I used my Prismacolor pencils, of course, and Tuliart paint pens, Posca pens, I think two different sizes of Posca pen, and silver Sparkle Pop gel pen for some little bits of bling there in the jewelry, both on the cat and the dog here. And yeah, I had fun with this page. You know, I really honestly kind of dreaded doing this page. That's why I saved it for one of my last pages in this winter section. I'm not a fan of coloring fur, but because I based the fur with my Neocolor 2s and kind of mapped out my highlights and my shadow areas, it did make it easier and a little bit faster, so I wouldn't have to do quite so many layers with the pencil. And yeah, it worked out great. I love how this turned out, and I'm happy it's done. Okay, so for the next page, all right, this is the third page out of Seasons. I did this mouse page here, and here again, I used my oil pastels for the background. This time it was the Mungyo brand of oil pastels. I like both brands. Both are very comparable price-wise and you know, performance-wise as well. The Mungyos are a little bit harder. The Paul Rubens are a little bit softer, but both are easy to use. Okay, and then so for the little mouse here, I did, I don't think I based him because he's so small. I didn't base him with any Neocolor 2s. That's just all pencil shading. And I didn't even use any pencil fur strokes in him. I just used my white Posca for some hints of fur strokes and highlights, and just tried to stay as simple as possible with him. And yeah, I love how this page turned out. Prismacolor pencils, of course. And here again for the highlights, I used my white Faber-Castell Pitt brush pen. All right, on to the next book. So the next book I worked out of was Shooting Star by Maria Trolle, and this was another buddy color. I didn't mark it, so okay. All right, so it's pretty much next to the last page here. Yeah, and this was another buddy color that I did with Line Art Mingle, and I'll put her page here. And I just absolutely love her take on the same page. It's amazing how you can have such different versions of the same page, and both of them complement the illustration wonderfully. She went with more dark colors in her image, where I went with more pastels. I love how she did the gold around the image there. That looks so pretty and really makes her image pop. And for me, I used my chalk pastels, which really haven't gotten very much attention over the last couple of years, but I thought this page would be perfect for a chalk pastel background. And of course, I used my Prismacolors for the rest of the page. This deer I just did with all pencil work and shading. I used all pencils for the deer and just did some basic shading with some hints of fur strokes in there. And yeah, I love how this page turned out. I think I used my Uniball white gel pen for the snowflakes and some dots here and there. My white Winsor & Newton ink for the splatters. And yeah, there is a video for this page up on my channel, as well as all of those Hannah Carlson pages, of course. So the next book I worked out of was Cosmic Spirit, and I did one page out of here. It is up on my YouTube channel as a color along, and I absolutely love how this page turned out. I used my Ohuhu alcohol markers for the background, and I used polychromos for her hair and her dress, and I believe it was Prismacolors for her skin. And yeah, polychromos I think also for the fish as well. And I don't know if you can see here, I did use some metallic watercolor in those kind of cloud swirls around her and outlined with white Posca. I think it was white Posca. Either white Posca or my white, I think maybe it was my white Uniball gel pen. I'll have to go back and check on that. But anyway, yeah, I love how this page turned out. I tried to stick with a simple color palette. It was a Sarah Renee Clark, I have it right here, Sarah Renee Clark color palette. And yeah, it turned out amazing. Okay, the next book I worked out of was 50 Snowflakes to Color by Camelia Angelkova. And I try and work at least one page out of this every winter. So far, it has only been one page. This was a speed color up on my channel. I love doing the speed colorings because I feel that they help give people inspiration for coloring mandalas, and they're just fun to watch. And so for this page, I used my Stettler dual-ended markers and some silver Sparkle Pop gel pen, my chalk pastels for framing the border or the background. And I don't know if you can see, but there is a fine sheer glitter spray that I use to spray all over the page, and that's my Imagine Crafts shimmer spray or glitter spray. And I think this one is it's called Sparkle, and that just kind of added some, you know, magic to the page. And I really love how this turned out. Oh yeah, I did the white with my white Uniball gel pen, which got a lot of love this December. All right. And my last page, actually I did 2 pages out of Ecliptica in December, which was wonderful because I have had this book, I think I said 2 years on Instagram, but I don't think it was quite 2 years. Anyway, right after this book came out, I purchased it, and it's been basically sitting on my shelf waiting for my attention, and I finally got around to coloring 2 pages out of it. This is the first page that I colored, And I was really inspired by the cover, how she did, how Anastasia did her color choices. And so I did the same thing for mine. I did change up a few things here and there. And of course the background, I decided to do a pinkish, reddish, peachish, if I can say that word, background here. And I think it really complements the colors that I used in the image. I used a variety of pencils for her skin. I believe it was Black Widows, a little bit of Luminance, and maybe a couple Prismas. This paper I find really difficult for some reason to work on. I did base with alcohol markers, her skin and her hair and her dress, to kind of help speed up the process. But for some reason, the tooth of this paper gets filled up really fast and it can only take so many layers. So I have to find what works for me on this paper. So it's been a bit of a process. But yeah, so for her hair, I used my polychromos, and I think I used Prismas for her dress. And the background is those Paul Rubin oil pastels. Again, this was the page that I used to demo those in my review. That is up on my channel as well. And the white splatters with my Winsor & Newton white ink. Now the second page is this page here, which I absolutely love. And I used those oil pastels for the background again. I love how the background came out. Again, based with Ohuhu alcohol markers and Prismacolor pencils for pretty much everything except for her hair. I did polychromos. Oh yeah, her skin is also a mixture of Black Widows, Luminance, and Prismas. But yeah, Prismacolors for her horns here and the skull. So I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but her hair looks a little off. And what happened was, and I was so disappointed, because after I finished coloring this page, it looked so vibrant and perfect and beautiful. I was so happy with the results. And then I went to go put my setting spray, and I used the Winsor & Newton setting spray because to set the oil pastels. The Winsor & Newton setting spray in the matte finish, and the matte finish just dulled everything down, and it had provided this really weird look on her hair. Oh my gosh, you guys, I was so upset. So I feel like this page isn't as beautiful as it was when I first finished it before I put down that setting spray, but still it looks beautiful, and I'm still very happy with the results. I'm just going to be a lot more wary about what I use to spray on my pages. But anyway, it still turned out beautiful. So that completes my finished pages for December of 2024. I hope you enjoyed seeing these pages, and stay tuned for my next video, which will be a recap of my top 10 pages for 2024. I should have that video up very soon on my channel. I hope you all are doing well and have a wonderful, happy, and healthy New Year's. We'll see you in 2025. Take care.